Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Kerry Holzman. This is Mitch Morrison. We're back at Studio A. Remember this place?
Yeah. You liking the green screen? We're actually fooling you. We're at Studio B. Aren't green screens great? We had you tricked for a minute.
Mitch is not even here.
Here, yeah.
This is AI, Mitch.
This is AI, yeah. Hello from Vietnam. No, just...
Today it is the 29th of August, 2023. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Buster's birthday today. Happy birthday to our good friend Peter Laycock joining us in the chat room.
Where he says, I think it's 55 degrees.
55 degrees Fahrenheit in Scotland today. Huh? Ian Gooch just contributed 10 pounds. Says hello, Kerry and Mitch. Cloudy evening in London, a cool 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Hello, everyone in the chat room, he says. Well, thank you, Ian. Thanks also, shout out to, let's see, I gotta find, here it is. Peter Laycock contributed 10 pounds before we started. Good evening, Kerry and Marlena and Mitch and everyone in the chat. All the best from Bonnie, Scotland, where the temperature is 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 13 degrees Celsius.
Did he just turn 39 again? Isn't that what he said? No.
27.
27.
Thomas Tidwell with a $5 super chat says, hello, Kerry. On time fee for a change. Hey, thank you, Thomas. Another Thomas MacT,
okay,
has renewed his membership now for 12 months. He's now on month 12. Finally made it, he says. Love you all, Kerry, Mitch, Marlena, chat, and members.
Are we 5 by 5 in terms of sound chat? Are both of us?
You sure you want to open that can of worms?
Not really. Night crawlers. Yuck.
Yeah.
Shiners. Okay. Yeah.
Matt Zoloff joins us all the way from Sweden. Mark Gaines joins us from Northern Ireland. Mike Visions from the UK contributes 5 pounds. Says hello. Harry and Sir Mitch. Wow. We got nobility here. And Camera Girl. Sherry McFarland says hello. Thomas Backenstow says hello. Right on, guys. Thanks for your hellos. Today, we're on a new mission. And that is, I've got about 13 motherboards that are in a situation like this. They're resting on top of their motherboard boxes, where Mitch and I in previous videos have put these together. This unit was a test I was doing on AsRock boards. So this is an AsRock Z370 Pro 4 that you and I originally built. I want to say it was 2019, and I've got the link to the original video in the video description below this video.
Okay.
And I ended up being so impressed with it. I want to say I ended up taking it out of that case and I put it into the office computer here at Studio A.
Okay.
And it ran as my office computer for about 2 years, maybe a year and a half. And then I upgraded it again. And this is meant to be sold as a used system, or really burned in system. And what it is an i7 9700K. It's got 16 gigs of DDR4. It's got a 1 terabyte Intel 660p NVMe drive and Windows 10 Pro activated. And what I need to do is I need to bring money in so I can fund new projects for the channel. And I also need to free up room in Studio B so I have room to put the product I need for new projects. So we're not giving these away. They're just too expensive to give away. We have plenty of we have plenty of 6th generation i5s. We have about 24 of those that we're going to give away. If you are just waiting for a giveaway to be a better computer, this is never going to happen. The giveaways are always going to be the equivalent of whatever the i5 6500 is today, maybe an 8500 in a year or two.
Okay.
It might be a 10500 in a year or two after that. So by the time we're ready to give them away, they've already led a complete life. So the giveaways are intended really to help people who are in a desperate need, or they need an upgrade, they need a computer to remote for work or for the kids to remote school. They're running something really old and they're in a financial bind, whatever the reason. Those machines are really designed to help people in need, right? they're not meant to be toys for you to tinker around with for something to do, because if you do that, if you nominate yourself for one of these giveaways and you are selected, and the only reason you want it is to play with it, you just literally took food out of a starving person's mouth when you weren't hungry. So I'm asking you not to nominate yourself for the free giveaways if you're not in financial straits. That being said, these machines will be discounted. I've got about 13 various 9th gen, 10th gen. Like I've got a 10900K. I've got two 10850Ks. I've got two 10700s, all on varying motherboards, all with RAM, coolers, storage, operating system, just sitting on a box that were never even used.
Yep.
And I need to start getting them out. But to get them out, I have to put them in a case with a power supply. And any case or power supply is all going to be brand new. So like this case here is the Cougar MX410 mesh, which I think is around a $60 or $70 case. We're pairing that with an EVGA gold rated 550 watt fully modular power supply. That's an $80 power supply. So just these two pieces alone were at about let's say $150. Now, the original cost of this, obviously, there's nothing wrong with a 9th generation Intel. This is the 19700K and the Scythe Mugen 5. The Mugen 5 still sells, same cooler you can still buy today. It's $60. It doesn't really depreciate because it's used, but maybe just a little. The RAM prices have come down a lot, and storage prices have come down a lot. And the motherboard, as I mentioned, it was me kind of sticking my toe in the water to see how AsRock board holds up, and nothing wrong with it. Works perfectly. Just wanted something faster. This would have been an 8-year build in 2019, and it would cost around $800 on average. So it's about $100 a year. If you get a $300 computer, that's about a 3-year lifespan on a computer like that, usable life. $500 computer gets about a 5-year lifespan. So given that this is, let's say, 4 years old out of an 8-year build, it's still 4 years left. Easily, minimum. And again, it's not going to stop working. It's just might become too slow, or there may be a Windows 13 or something that needs some feature that this doesn't have, or maybe not, maybe good for another 10 years. Who's to say? But because it's used and it's never had a problem, I'm going to discount it because I want to get it out the door as effectively as I can, because I've got to get through 12 more of them. Now, if you want to buy it as is, and as is means, because what Mitch and I are going to do today is we're going to put this motherboard in this case with the power supply and cable manage it, and it's going to be listed for sale for, it's going to cost about $100 for me to ship this, unless you're local in Arizona or you want to pick it up. You can save $100 if you want to pick it up. All in, I'm into this 550 plus 100, so $650 is what my break-even cost is at this point. But because I want to move it, how much do you think?
Ron Popeil, but wait, there's more.
What do you think I should? I mean, I don't want to be taken to the cleaners. I don't want you guys. Look, I need to stay in business. I need to keep the channel running. I can't afford to give this stuff away, and it's going to cost me money. I have to buy cases. I have to buy power supplies. So I'm putting $150 into it. So the question is, what are the parts worth now that they're aged? And this one, of all the machines I'm selling, this one's probably the most used, in the sense that this was the office computer here for over a year anyway. Could have been a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. Whereas those other ones we just built.
But I just consider that a real good burden. Yeah, the other motherboards and processors we've got,
we just built for show.
We built for the video, for the content, and they never got completed.
Yeah.
And the reason they weren't completed is because I was waiting for a customer to call, and then I could modify it to whatever case and power supply would be required for that customer's needs, and then price it accordingly. But when situations like this, I have to make decisions. So it's definitely going in this case with this power supply. The RAM and the storage can be swapped out if you want to pay retail price for RAM and storage. If you buy the RAM and storage the way it comes equipped, and then when you get it, you do whatever you want to it, that might be a way to consider. So I don't know. What do you think? A 9700K with a brand new case, brand new power supply, Mugen 5 cooler. It's got 1 terabyte of storage, 16 gigs of RAM.
Plus, you got Office on there.
No, there's no Office on
Oh.
here. I don't think there's Office on here.
Hmm.
It says old Office PC.
Oh.
And it says Windows 10 Pro
Okay,
activated.
yeah. Where are my short
This
eyeballs?
is Windows 11 compatible.
Okay.
I don't like Windows 11, but if you wanted me to put Windows 11 on it, there's no extra charge for that. Or again, it's something you could do yourself if you wanted to. Evan says 650. Thomas says 900. I don't think it's worth 900, Thomas. When it was new, when it was brand new, it would have been worth probably 800 plus sales tax. Got to remember, here in Arizona, I pay nearly 10% sales tax. So it could be $800 in parts, but when you add on sales tax, it's another $80 there. But it is 4 years old, so let's say, just to get things, let's see what the response. If we say 500,
I think it's, a bargain at 5, yeah.
if I say $500, and I'll include the shipping in that price.
There you go. That price is firm, non-negotiable. Firm price.
Now, you're not going to have much of a warranty because the motherboard warranty is probably over. The RAM might have lifetime warranty. The cooler, I don't think you'd ever have any warranty issues with a cooler anyway. The case and power supply are brand new.
So my
TRV says buy one, kill one free.
So my friends, what will it take to put you in this computer today?
We're kind of getting some feedback here. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to negotiate with anybody publicly. If you're interested in purchasing this or one of the 10850Ks, one of the 10700s, non-K, or the 10900K that I have, or that AsRock system I just built with the 13500 CPU, obviously, the higher end and more new the system is, the more it's going to cost. But basically, I just want to break even. I'm not looking to profit. I'm not looking to charge for my labor. And I'll include shipping, but if you're willing to drive out, pick it up, if you're local or whatever, then you can save $100 off the shipping.
Isn't that amazing, folks?
What do you guys think? So if you're interested, I want you to email me. And we will go back and forth in email. No reasonable offer will be refused, but please don't insult me. You have to understand my time and my labor are worth something. And even though these systems are a bit older, they're still built with the same level of care that I put into every build, the same level of attention to detail. I go through them with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, there may be some dust. I'll do my best to get the dust. It's a very fine little thing. It's not hurting. But I've got my compressed air and spray it and wipe it down.
We got the close-up camera, so we'll show you the what do you call it? The back here with all the thingies.
The I/O?
Yeah, the I. I'm getting very technical. All right.
Les says I should set a minimum. So I think the minimum, it sort of depends on. Well, let me give you an example. If somebody says to me, I'll give you $400 for that computer, right? But then I have to pay to ship it. It's going to cost me $100 to $130. It's not worth it to me to do it. But if they say, you know what, I've never won anything from the channel, and those giveaways that you do are worth about $100 plus shipping. So if we include this as a giveaway and I pay the $400, would you include it? See, it's got to be reasonable, right? Or $500. And I've got others. There's more. Like I said, there's 12 others to go through. I'm just doing them one at a time. And I want to make sure you guys, my members already knew about this yesterday, so they had first dibs, and not a single member has shown any interest in this. So it's wide open for you guys. And then if people aren't interested here, then it'll go for sale locally. Basically meaning I'm going to put it on Facebook Marketplace or something.
And do all of those, I think, have Mugens on them, correct?
They have varying, some have deep cools, some have be quiet, some have Mugens. Some may even have Intel stock coolers. Kind of depends.
Right.
Now, anything can be changed at, because I have to put it in the case and wire it up. I can change it and customize it to your needs, but the minute you make changes,
yeah, the price goes up.
well, you got to pay for whatever the thing is you're changing.
Yep.
So if you're changing RAM, then I have to buy, I don't crap out parts.
Right.
Seems painful, but I kind of wish I could. But I have to go and pay for the parts. So I'm not looking to profit from it, but I would absolutely have to at least have they not cost me any money. Or again, you could order it as is and then do the upgrade yourself. Once this is done, I'm going to try and make this a regular, try and get one of these out a week for the next 13 weeks because I really desperately need the space.
Yep.
And I could really use the funds for future projects. So everybody wins. You get a good, solid computer. I don't build cheap computers. Sometimes people reach out to me and they're like, Kerry, I got a budget of $400. What would you build for $400? I wouldn't, because it puts my reputation on the line. And those parts that you can put together a computer for $400 generally aren't as reliable. They're not as easy to work with. And when they start crashing, being unreliable, and getting frustrating, oh, that computer Kerry built me is a piece of crap. What does that end up costing me in my reputation and respect in the industry? So I'll let other players scrape the bottom of the barrel.
The low end,
I don't do that. So you're going to get a high quality computer from me at a very discounted price because they've been sitting for a while and I need to get rid of them. And that's my situation right now. And that's been my focus recently this week and going forward. I've got a couple of new builds that I need to do. And I'm also ordered a couple new cases that I want to put some of the used, I'm going to say lightly, used boards that we've already prepped.
Yep.
Since I have to put them in cases, I thought I'll order some different cases and see what they
yeah.
look like. I do have a couple of the Corsair 200R cases. And I was saving them for business clients, but I think my business clients are mostly going to be moving to mini PCs from this point forward. So I think it's safe for me to sell them, but they will be at the full retail price. They're brand new in a box. Also have a couple of Corsair 110Qs brand new in a box, and a couple of these Corsair MX410s brand new in the box. All right, let's see what they're saying in the chat room. No Michigan this year. Postponing Michigan for a little bit.
Brian says include a free cup holder. Are you talking about a DVD?
I could add a DVD if they wanted it.
Yeah. So, what are those? All right.
No Toto shirt today.
No, I just thought in honor of Studio B, I've got
Who's that?
I've got 7 Alan Parsons shirts just sitting there whispering, "Wear me, wear me." So I'm like, oh, okay. So just yanked it out of the closet, and so games people play. What can I say?
Did somebody die?
No.
Oh, well, you said in honor of. I thought. Maybe.
Oh no. Alan's he's still around. Yeah.
So if you're interested in wanting to purchase this or other machines that I have, my email. Where's my email?
I'm going to say they'll be on sale in the lobby of the theater as you leave.
That's my email
There you
address. And we'll handle any negotiations privately. I am not going to email you with a big complete list of everything. But I just off the top of my head, I do have a single 10900K that's prepped. I have two 10700s that are prepped and two 10850Ks that are prepped. And I have the 13500 that we just built brand new in the NZXT case last week. That's what you and I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that one's brand new, and that's just going to be sold at cost, that brand new one. The others, depending on how old they are, will be discounted. But again, you could certainly counter as long as it's reasonable. I'm highly motivated. Okay, so let's clear that out.
Did you ever see the movie Used Cars with Kurt Russell?
Maybe
where
it was
he was a
long...
salesman, and the guy kept saying, lowering at the price $50, and the guy kept saying $50 never killed anybody. Over and over again, which I thought was funny. Oh, $50 never.
I had a salesman say to me, you want a monthly payment of, I don't know, $630, we can get you to $650. We're within $20. What do you say? Like, no. Because come on, you're going to lose the car over $20. That's like a pizza. I go, it's not a pizza. It's a 60-month contract. That's 60 pizzas. That's a pizza a month for 60 months.
Yep.
So yeah, they try to steer you.
That's a hard no. Okay.
Planet Cryos contributes $5. Wow, Studio A, he says, great to see Mitch also.
Yeah, it was kind of,
Feeling deja vu.
yeah, kind of reminiscent here, Studio A.
Paul O'Brien from Ireland contributes €2, says, give Mitch a haircut. He's going to the jungle.
Oh, yeah, to Vietnam. Well, the reason my hair is a little long, in November, Chad, I'm, I wouldn't say starring, but I'm doing a short called The Jerry Dinger Show, where we're spoofing the Jerry Springer Show. And so I'm going to be the kind of Jerry Springer. So I've been looking at photos of him and his hairstyle to kind of figure out, you know, I do have his glasses, not these, but what he kind of wore, wire rims. So that I've already got. I've just got to figure out kind of the suit that he used to wear. But
I'm just noticing your audio is a little low. Is anybody else noticing Mitch's audio is low? Do I have it on auto? Oh, it is on auto.
It is on auto.
Yeah, well, okay.
Auto.
I guess I'll leave it alone.
So, but I don't know. I'm getting a haircut Thursday, and my stylist will, in her salon, will pull up photos of Jerry Springer, and we'll just say, you know, look, what we've got all of October, you know, all of September and all of October. I'm not big on it being this long, but as an actor, I'll because this concept is pretty funny, where we're bringing in, you know, some guy's in love with his cat and a relationship. He's having relationship problems, and it turns out it's not with women, it's with his cat. And so we've been bouncing ideas off, and it can be pretty funny. I'm not sure how long it'll be, whether it'll be 10 minutes, 15, 30, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to doing that in November. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 112. It's supposed to hit 116 today. And it's going to be hot tomorrow. And then after that, it should start to cool down. So I'm waiting until it cools down before I get a haircut.
Blazing saddles. It can't be more than 114.
It's miserable out here. It's terrible.
And it's a little muggy. I mean,
it's
we're
humid.
used to literally bone dry, 2% humidity typically, where that's really dry. But I think yesterday, was it in the 30%? It's a bit much, which prepares me for Vietnam, because a week from today, I leave this coming Monday, but I land on Tuesday at 10 at night, and I'm sure it'll be the low at 10 at night. It'll probably be 80 and about 70% humidity, so it'll be a bit much when I go out of that Ho Chi Minh airport and make a quick right and go right 2 minutes to the hotel.
Put your flip-flops on.
Yeah.
Mark Gaines contributes £5. He says, for a second, I thought I was hallucinating, Carrie.
No.
Back at Studio A.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, so what else are they saying in the chat?
So somebody do Uncle Mitchie a solid and look up what is the temperature currently in Ho Chi Minh City, also known as Saigon, right now, and let me know in chat what's the temperature, and if you know what the humidity is, gives me something to look forward to.
I'm going to type it in Google.
Oh, here we go now. Ho Chi Minh. Yeah.
Oops, spelled it wrong. 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity, 97%. But wait a minute. What's 100%? Rain?
Yeah, 100.
97%.
Yeah, look at all the rain. Monday, Tuesday, rain. I knew I was at the beginning of the wet season.
Let's see if I can screen capture. Share it with everybody. Window capture.
And I'm not packing my galoshes.
Why is my window capture now?
I don't know. My rain boots, or my slicker.
There it is.
And bringing a miniature travel umbrella, so that's something at least. That'll blow away in a week. You know.
So August 29, 2023, there's your weather report.
Uh,
At
for
4
Chi
o'clock
Minh,
in the morning.
Ho Chi Minh, they still kind of call it Saigon. Stance sounds like a cold snap. Not when it's. How can it be 79? Yeah, I guess 79, but 97%. Oh boy.
Dr. Bill says $5. I was thinking about without RAM, SSD, power supply, or case. So the reason I don't sell parts, and I've explained this countless times before, but as a reminder, parts are too easily damaged in shipping, and too many people break the parts because they don't take the care to install them. Then they say I sold them a bad part. So I will not sell you parts. If you want to buy parts, go to Amazon, go to Newegg, go to eBay. I only sell completed computer. I am not that guy that's going to nickel and dime you, and you're not going to nickel and dime me. I always think of that movie with Chris Rock where he goes into the, says, how much for the ribs? He's like, $3. He goes, how much for one rib? Or he said, how much for the rib? And he goes, $3. He goes, no, I just want one rib. One rib, I guess 75 cents or 50 cents. He goes, all right, can I get a cup of water? Okay. He goes, all right, so one rib. So he just cuts one little rib, puts it on a plate, gives him his cup of, I think he gave him a cup of water. He's just negotiating down and down and down. Okay, that's going to be 75. And the guy's angry because this is kind of wasting his time. And Chris Rock pulls out this wad of cash like this, and he's all, can you break a 20? Get out of my store. No, I don't sell parts. It's too risky. It's too risky of damage. I need to know when I'm sending somebody something that it boots up, turns on. So for that reason, I don't sell parts. There's also a risk of somebody wanting to swap a bad part with my part because they happen to have the same one that's broken. And then, then I have to record all the serial numbers. I don't want to play these games, folks. So please do not ask me for that. I'm not that guy. Robert Jones says, hello. And I will remind you, take it into email. Take your offers private. Don't do this publicly. Nobody needs to know what sort of deal you're working out. But do not ask me to sell the parts. I will not do that. You can go on Amazon. You can go on Newegg. You can buy parts. That's what they do. They take a lot of returns and they deal with a lot of scam. And I'm not them, and I can't afford that. It's also not worth my time to do something for such little money. I'd rather toss it a trash can than deal with all that. Planet Cryos with a $5 super chat says it's a little bit older at Gen 3, but did you see the Western Digital 750 1 terabyte NVMe and 2 terabyte on sale early? $25 for 1 terabyte, $51 for 2 terabyte. That is a good deal. Where were they on sale at? Steve Chappelle wants to know what new mini PCs are coming up for review. Currently, I have a couple of new Nooks, the last of the line from Intel.
Okay.
I have a couple of weird ones I bought from AliExpress. And I don't think I have anything coming to me from Ace, Magic, Minis Forum, or B-Link. I know B-Link just introduced the SER7, which looks really promising, but they didn't offer me one for review for some weird reason. And I don't want to spend $600 to buy it because it's an AMD based, and just not a fan of those Adrenalin drivers. So if they want to send it to me, I'll review it, but I don't believe I'm going to buy it just to review it, and then really I have no use for it. It's really intended for gaming. Even though we're using onboard graphics, it's the most modern, I think, RDNA 3. And those drivers are still a little rough. They're getting better. And the machine is decked out really well. They're including 32 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte storage for like $600. Should be able to go over to the website and show it to you. I think they just released it. V-Link SER7. And it's supposed to be available in orange, but they never seem to have the orange version.
Is it that popular?
It's for some reason it comes out later.
Oh.
Like it hasn't been made yet.
That's a unique color.
So they've got it in 2 colors right now. If I go to capture here. Yeah, the SER7 7840HS. This is a pre-sale, so I guess it's not out yet. So from August 23rd to September 6th, they're offering the it's a Ryzen 7 7840HS, which is an 8-core. It's got Gen 4S NVMe. It's DDR5, dual channel. It's got that magnetic power supply like we saw on the GTR 7. And yeah, it's 16 threads, 32 gigs standard, 1 terabyte standard, 2.5 gig LAN standard, supports 4K DisplayPort and 2.4 gigabit per second Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi 6. It's the 4 nanometer lithography. Obviously, your max RAM is 64 gigs because you can't buy a single RAM module. Actually, in DDR5, maybe you can. Well, anyway, 64 gig maximum. Supposedly runs nice and quiet. These are the colors it will be available. Right now, they just have the green and space gray, and orange and obsidian black are coming. If I was going to pay for it, I think
I'd get the Orangi.
I'd get the orange one.
The Orangi myself.
And there's some FPS that they've recorded with CSGO, LOL, PUBG, LOL, League of Legends, Destiny 2, Dota 2. Wow, geez, we were talking about Dota back when I was making videos at Newegg. Wi-Fi 6, quad display output. So you got 2 HDMI 2.1s, plus a DisplayPort 1.4, plus, oh, I see, one HDMI, 1 DisplayPort, and then 2 USB 4s that will be DisplayPort out. It's a Bluetooth version 5.2, and the 40 gigabits per second on that USB 4. And there's your exploded view.
Yep.
Nothing special to look at here. So if you wanted to order this, if we go to, let's see.
Buy now.
Yeah, buy now. There's really nothing you can change here. These are all fixed items. And you can choose between green and space gray. I kind of like the gray.
Yeah.
And they want, well, there's a coupon code here for $120 off. So they want $729, so you could get it for $609. And this coupon's good till September the 6th if you order directly from them. So that's the only new mini PC I know that's coming out. And unless the manufacturers are sending me something and haven't told me, I'm a little burned out on mini PCs right now and can use a break from it anyway, so I'm not complaining. And I just looked at my phone, and there is no email of anybody inquiring about this PC, which I'm a little surprised about. Oh, wait a minute. I spoke too soon. So somebody named Tony says it's a valid offer, shipping it to Georgia as is. So in other words, as is, I guess you're meaning motherboard as I intend to build it into this case with this power supply. It'll be fully updated in Windows 11, latest drivers. I'm sorry, Windows 10 or 11. It's got Windows 10 on it now.
Yep.
It's a free upgrade to Windows 11 if you want Windows 11. And I'll have all the cable management, and it'll go back in the case box, and we'll ship in the case box. and I lay that case box into a bigger box. I lay it flat, and I have FedEx pack that and ship it. That's why it's partially so much money to ship. Is the box is much bigger than the box that this comes in, and you're paying not only for weight and distance, but how big the package, how much space it takes up on the trucks.
There's our man, Michael Dane.
Michael Dane,
the man.
with $10 super chat, says greetings, Carrie and Mitch. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Oh, is it Labor Day weekend?
That's, yeah, when I leave Monday, that's Labor Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't wear white after Labor Day, right?
No. Those 7 white Toto shirts go back in a beautiful bag, clothing bag, to the back of it. People will be having fun. I'll be on 2 terribly, terribly long flights. All right.
Andy Kane wants to know if it's Windows 11 compatible. So for how many times have I said that? 3?
2.
I will not sell a brand new, I won't sell a computer to somebody that's not Windows 11 compatible. The only computers that are not Windows 11 compatible are computers I give away.
And they're still valid for 2 more years.
So you understand? I never, ever sell a non-Windows 11 compatible computer. I also only give away, for the most part, computers that are not capable of upgrading to Windows 11. These older machines like the 6th gen i5s that are in the HP minis, those are Windows 10. They don't have TPMs, so they're not Windows 11 compatible. They're good for a couple of years. And by then, they're all going to be 10 years old. It'll be time to replace it. I mean, how many people run a computer every day that they count on that's over 10 years old? It's unwise. It's very impractical. So, yes. Okay.
Let's kick the tires and we'll take it for a test drive.
I guess we get the close-up camera out.
Sure.
We'll take a closer look at what's going on here. So we brought the close-up camera over from Studio B.
I don't know how to turn it on.
Let's hit that button right there. And let's see, are you ready?
Yeah.
Didn't work. What am I missing? Close-up camera. Hold on, I am confused. That's the close-up camera.
It was working.
And let's turn off camera 1. Why do I not have any video out of there? Did I select the wrong input? Oh, there it is.
Here's our I/O.
Yeah, so this has the ability to add Wi-Fi internally, but I wouldn't do it that way. I mean, I would just put a regular Wi-Fi card or a USB Wi-Fi. But it does have the little M.2, see right here? M.2 Wi-Fi. So you can put like a laptop style, but then you got to run internal antenna wires in here.
Yeah.
And then they've got to bring it over to this piece with the little hex nuts that you would then screw antennas onto. So if you wanted to do that, you could. So we've got our PS2 port for keyboard or mouse, 2 USB 3s, VGA, DVI, and HDMI, which all 3 can be used at the same time. 4 more USB 3s, 1 gigabit per second Ethernet. We've got our audio here. Red is microphone, green is speakers, blue is line input. This is our I/O shield, pretty generic I/O shield here. Come around this way, and you'll see you've got your full-size slot here if you wanted to add a graphics card. We've got us by 1 slot here, here, and here. And then we've got 2 more slots. This is an old PCIe slot, or PCI slot. This was probably the last they offered those. You can add another M.2 drive down here. And then you can also add 2 more USB 2s there and 2 more USB 2s there. And we have our USB 3 header here. And we've got 6 SATA connectors for internal hard drives. We've got 2 sticks of Oloy, O-L-O-Y, DDR4 RAM. And then, of course, our Scythe Mugen 5. I think this is a revision B. And I have the original motherboard box, and in the box should be documentation. Apparently it had T-Force RAM in it at some point, and it had a Sabrent. Well, that's no longer, that's all been swapped out of here. There's the installation kit for the Mugen, motherboard manual, a couple of SATA cables, your Intel Go Faster sticker. Obviously, I'll take out the product boxes for the Sabrent and the Team Group drive. And then you can see our storage right here. That's the 1 terabyte Intel 660. And everything works perfectly. It's quiet. There's nothing wrong with this system. And it should prove to keep somebody quite happy for a number of years and be very easy to upgrade and work on anytime you would need to do that. So let me go back over to camera 1. Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, just push that button in when that's lit up green. And then let it go. Push it all the way down. Let it go. And then in just a second, that lens will retract. There it is. Thank you, Mitchell.
Yes.
What's my take on AsRock motherboards? Well, I was a little leery. So I started with this one, and now I've been buying them. I mean, just look at my most recent video that Mitch and I did Friday using an AsRock live mixer board. So I've been using AsRock secondary to Gigabyte, and it's a choice for me between, if Gigabyte doesn't make what I want, then AsRock is my next go-to, not Asus. I would put AsRock next, then Asus, and then MSI at the end, because MSIs are so much money. You know, I'm so used to looking this way at the camera, because
Right.
Studio B, the camera's there. And then,
Getting a stiff neck.
so I apologize if it looks like I'm not paying it. If I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm not looking at you.
Andy says, Mitch, that PC sticker will make the plane go faster. I know. I think, what do they average? About 550 miles an hour? It's
At
over
30,000 feet.
Yeah, 35,000 feet, where it's, 80 below out of the plane.
Bucked one channel. But I built myself another new PC yesterday, all thanks to your videos over the last 10 years. Hey, that's awesome.
There you go.
We always encourage people to build their own. You'll never get a better computer than the one you build yourself. Richard Palmentier was building his own machine. He hadn't built one in many years. He was having some troubles. I suggested that perhaps he was rushing because he was saying things that weren't quite complete. And I said, I think you're so anxious, you're so excited that you're not seeing what's right in front of you. I think I've got a bad CPU. Yeah, it's highly unlikely. You've seen, how many times have we done builds here where we unbox everything brand new? We very rarely ever get a bad part. I think it's more likely you've rushed something and something is very obvious you're not seeing. After the show, he emailed me and forgot to put his RAM back in. That'll keep it from booting. Yeah. Anyway, he got it all up and running and got Windows installed, and he's all happy camper. So yeah, that's a feeling you just can't buy at the store. It's something you have to do yourself, but people, for numerous reasons, don't want to or can't, don't have the time. And so they want it built. And, when I build it, I take on responsibility with regards to a support role. I'll be the person people reach out to, whether it's weeks, months, or years later when they have a question. And that's the downside. When you build your own, you're your own support. And it's not a downside if somebody reaches out once or twice in a couple of years, but just the fact that I'm held accountable for it means that I have to be very careful over what I sell. Does Jimmy want to make an appearance? Hey, Jimmy, do you want a cookie? Cocoa Puff.
I think he's sleeping.
Oh, then you'll hear this.
He sure knows that sound.
Let me turn on camera 1 again, or close-up camera. Do me a favor. Where it says cam 1, you see the eyeball next to camera 1?
Yeah. Do what?
Just click that eyeball off. Right. Where's Cocoa Puff? There he is.
There he is.
He's limping.
We
got a cookie.
But he certainly heard that sound.
You want a cookie? Chomp.
I'm not sure. I'll take it.
There's a good boy. And as you can see, we are broadcasting using the original Threadripper build here. For those of you who remember this,
When did you and I build that? 11 years ago? No.
That's a good question.
In 17?
Look at whose name is right there on top.
Yeah.
Side of it here. A little dusty in there, but it works great.
The Threadripper with the big CPU? Yeah, that's why you got
That's why that cooler's
That's why you
still
got
here.
the big fan. Do they still make those? Or yeah. I heard another one was coming out, a different one. I don't know.
Well, they were making them for servers only,
Okay.
and it upset the enthusiasts. So they might, there's rumor they'll be coming back out with a chip, a
Okay.
Threadripper chip for enthusiasts. Go ahead and click on the eyeball on camera 1 for me again. There you go. Yeah, Thready. When did we do Thready?
Seems like yesterday.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let's go to YouTube.
18?
Is that the one we built in the backyard?
I think so. Yeah. That had to be.
Threadripper. Gary Holzman. We'll do that search on YouTube and see what comes up. One of us outside.
The thumbnail, I'm almost sure, was outdoors.
This is it here.
Oh.
5 years ago.
Oh, God. There
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
So let me see if I can share the screen here.
5 years.
No, that's not working.
You'll have to take our word for it.
There it is.
Yeah. It was the first time I met you.
We met before that, didn't we?
No.
There's a,
That was the last of the good weather.
look at that guy.
Oh, with the long hair. I forgot about that. Ugh.
Does this not show a date? Streamed 5 years ago.
And it had to have been in April because the weather was still decent. Yeah.
Of course, we've got a different motherboard and different RAM in there now. Yeah. But that's what we're using today for our
Streamer.
time flies when you're having fun.
It's still got a lot of life in it.
Oh, yeah, that thing
Yeah.
it's a monster. And especially, you know, streaming doesn't require that much to begin with, so still has a long life ahead of it. Jim KJ3N says, I'm trying to give away a 13-inch. Oh, I can't read that. It's too far.
6th gen?
Oh, 6th gen laptop. Any takers? Hey, can't beat free. Jim's over on the East Coast and has his own YouTube channel. You should definitely check out Jim's YouTube channel if you like channels showcasing tech like what I do. He does something very similar in his own style. Ole Peterson says May the 2nd, 2018. Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Back before we...
Usually May for Phoenix would be a little warm, so that I think that was literally the last cool day. I remember you looking at the weather and going, I think this is it. If we don't do it,
Yeah, summer was coming.
Yeah, if we want to do it outdoors, and that was it. So
And I just thought, who would build a computer outdoors?
Right.
Now people
Yeah.
do that.
yeah,
But when I did it, I think I was the first person to do it. I've seen people build computers on boats now
yeah,
and then going outside and building it outside. But when I did it, it was an original idea, I think. Well, I guess we can start putting this together.
okay. We'll see if those are adaptive screws or
Captive.
captive. Yeah.
These, this is a pretty budget case, so I would not expect, no, they're not. Tight too. Of course, you will get a power cable. And the power supply is brand new, EVGA 550 watt. Now, if you wanted to add a graphics card to this, depending on just how high end, you would likely need to upgrade your power supply. So,
But their back graphics cards are easy to get now, right?
graphics cards, yeah,
Where the time
they're
they were-
expensive though.
Are they still?
Yeah. Yeah, so, but they're in stock now.
Yeah.
Everything's back in stock. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do first? Guess we could.
It'll be nice to do a downward shot, you know.
Hey, yeah, we could totally
It's a-
do that
It's
today.
camera girl is not as tall as Uncle Mitch.
I'm just trying to think where I could be, where I'm not in my own way.
Eh?
I suppose we'll turn it this way first. Give me that IO shield, would you? And put that in first. Yep.
And I'll tell you, chat, my first computer build, I struggled with that because it's so flimsy
Yeah, a lot of people do.
that I wound up bending it and didn't end up using it. So that was in an old Cosmo 2 with the handles. You remember that? Did I ever bring that? Maybe I didn't bring it over. But yeah, you're like, where's your
No,
IO?
you didn't bring that over.
Where's
But
your IO shield? I'm like, I bent it.
but we did a Cosmos 2 build here
Yeah.
many moons ago.
You know,
2013.
for years, that was a good case. I mean, it was a monster, but I like the fact that it had two handles on the top.
I liked how much room it had
Yeah,
inside.
so transporting it, that made it easy. So, hear the clicks?
Just trying to get these two corners in. Oh, so close. Okay. I don't know. You want to try the close-up camera?
Why, certainly.
Let me get this wire tie off of here.
Press the green dot, just hold it in for a second.
Just push it all the way down. You don't have to hold it in.
Push it down. Yeah, it's lit.
And I think you're going to stand over there?
Well, yeah, wherever you.
Or
have
I
to
was
get with
thinking
it.
you'd be over on that
Oh,
side.
okay. I can do that.
I don't know if you'll be able to reach over.
See.
Should have plenty of cable there.
Why, certainly.
Let's see how. Whoops. Let's see how Mitch is doing. Good to have a tall camera operator. Right. Are you zoomed out?
Yeah. Ooh, that's in. Guess I'm wrong.
And then you need to keep this up out of the camera shot.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you pull up a little
Higher?
more?
Why, certainly.
All right. And then I'm going to grab the motherboard here.
Get my shoulders, my shoulders some exercise. All right.
Oh, we're going to need standoff right there. So in the bag of parts, like I say, this is a brand new case. So in this bag of parts, we've got some zip ties, we've got standoffs there.
What do they normally give you? One extra? Or-
In this case, we've got 3 extra.
Oh, okay.
Depends on the capabilities of the case. This is what the case can handle. And I've got to look for some scissors. Do we have scissors in here? No? Scissors over here. Boy, Jimmy just took his cookie and left, never to be seen again.
No,
He learned that from Lyle.
I think he's outside burying it.
I can't be
later.
outside in this weather, is he?
He took it outside, so.
But did he come back in?
I don't know.
So I need this one to go here.
Got that little tool in the drawer? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the same thing. Might have the tool in the other room. Let me,
Finger tight's not enough.
no, because then when you go to take the board out,
Yeah.
then it'll back off with the screw and stay. Be a pain in the butt. It is not there. Let me check the back office. Aha!
Got one?
Found it. Now I want to remind you guys that there is one or two more of these i9 systems that I'll probably sell similarly. So if this one already has a taker,
Don't panic.
yeah, don't freak out. There's others.
There's plenty, you know.
And let's see, we're not going to go with that any further than that. So that should align right like so. So I'm going to cut back over to camera 1 here for just a second because I want to show people
Okay.
camera 1 where, go, no, keep that on. I'm going to go back. When I bring this board in, I'm aligning it, the IO, through those holes. And that should by default then align me with the standoffs behind, with the holes in the motherboard where the mounting holes are. And so it does. All right, so now we'll go back over to cameraman Mitch here.
And you want the Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, I guess it's time for that.
Is it going to be charged up?
Yeah, I charged it yesterday.
Oh.
I came to the studio
There you go.
yesterday to get
to
Windows
prepare.
updates, OBS
Prepare.
updates, and updates. Everything needed updating. Question is, which of these screws do I use? I suppose I can just test. It's not happy. Oh, I think that's going to work. All right, so we need 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure the driver's on 3 on my torque settings. That way all these screws will be torqued exactly the same. So, let's see, we got 1. That is not good. Oh, that's a completely different thread.
Wearing your
That's
short,
tricky.
wearing your short eyeballs.
Well, normally
Okay.
case manufacturers don't include screws of the same length but a different thread type in the bag mixed in together. Oh, he just came
I
in.
told you he was outside.
You were right.
Going to be one hot dog. Get it? Not with mustard. All right.
All right, 1.
Go get a drink, Jimmy.
We've got 4 screws around that side. This one's a little tough to get into the way they've designed the case.
Hmm.
What's up, Jimmy boy? So normally you don't want to tighten these all the way down until you get them all started, and it's kind of dark in there. I'm having a hard time seeing.
Got a flashlight in the drawer?
I do, but I'm trying not to use it. Trying to be stubborn. think I'm a little out of practice. So hard to tell these thin threaded screws from the wide coarse threaded screws. Yeah, there's one more. It's a tough corner to get into right there. That's better. That is difficult to do without being able to see. All right, but we should be able to set this back up now. Of course, it'll look like that.
Let me show them the top so you can show them the port.
Oh yeah. So there's your power button, power LED, hard drive LED. Got two USB 2s, two USB 3s. That's nice to have the 4 USBs up front. Headphone jack, microphone jack, and a reset switch.
And on the front, got a mesh.
You're a mesh.
Okay.
And no fans
No-
up front,
no
but you
fans up
can add
front.
them. I wouldn't add them unless you're putting a graphics card in there. Otherwise, you're just bringing in dust and dirt and noise. Okay.
Power supply next.
Yeah, so we'll turn this way. Grab our power supply. The fan is going to bring air in through the bottom of the case and then blow it out through the back of the case. And in this little switch that says Eco, you turn that on, that means this fan will only spin when the power supply needs to be cooled off.
When needed.
Default, if we turn it off, the fan always runs regardless. So we'll slide that in through here. Does it feel funny? Got a little ledge on it it's got to go up onto.
Ah, there you go.
And then the power supply should have come with little bag screws, didn't it? What did I do with it? Did I not bring them over here? Did I leave them at Studio B? That's okay, I have some spare
Yeah,
screws.
I was going to say, I remember you buying a bag of 1,000.
Yeah. Little rusty.
Dad, how do you like in these rock steady shots? I've only had 10 energy drinks. All right, today. So, just kidding. Never even had one.
Yeah, I went on Amazon and I buy
Ooh.
these from Hanbei. They're a bag of like, I don't know, 100 or 50, more than 50. And they're just standard case screws.
Mhm.
2, 3, 4. All I need out of that bag, put that away. What's up, Cocoa Puff? My good boy. Let me borrow that camera for a second.
Why, certainly.
You guys got to see this over here.
Let me give you some slack. All right.
Well, we're good. Look at this face. Whoops. Look at this face.
Remember that video where the German Shepherd was talking?
Got something to say, Cocoa Puff?
And what was in the fridge? Was it bacon?
Oh.
Oh. I love that video. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Coco?
No.
Can I have a foot?
No.
Can I have your foot?
Leave me alone.
Oh, he's getting old.
Yeah. Aren't we all? Except me. I'm aging backwards.
The maple cunt.
It was just like bacon.
Boop, boop. Boop.
I'll bite him.
He's too nice.
Okay.
Or you were talking to me.
Yeah. All right. You probably want to spin it around so you can.
No, we'll leave it right there. I'll try and do it. Do it for the cameras.
Okay. I shall kneel. All right. Don't over tighten these, but you want them.
Just get them started.
Snug, yeah.
This one up here goes a little off away from the corner.
Really like fully modular power supplies.
Well, they're clean.
Yeah,
The problem is people always lose the cables.
Cables.
So in a couple of years when they want to change something, and then what they'll do is they'll go buy some cables they think look the same. But if you're not careful and you're not buying the exact right cable, even though it plugs in, it can cause the smoke to come out.
Some of them would include a nice bag, a cloth bag that was nice.
Yeah, but they still lose it, bag or no bag. All right, I think we can go back to camera one. I think we did as much as we can do here.
Very cinematic.
Thank you. Watch that cord.
Yep.
So yeah, got power supply. I mean, it's super easy. The hard stuff's already done on this. So got all our modular cables here. What are they saying in the chat room?
Never stand up.
He's so uninterested. Yeah.
He's an old boy. Is it 1 year equals 7 in human years?
Yeah,
And
that's what they say.
You think he's 15? Oy.
Richard Collins says hello. Welcome in, Richard. All right, let's see. That's for a graphics card. Use that. This power cable will go in the motherboard box. Should be done with this. Okay, we've got our big motherboard power cable. And this we won't use. Oh, this is our CPU power. This is just SATA power. So those will be included with the computer. Now, let's see. This end goes onto the motherboard. So I guess I'm going to try and do this part first, which is going to be fun to get in there.
What's got to go up here?
Well, I've got to plug it into the board up there.
Oh.
This case, sort of a smaller case, so it's not as easy to work on as a larger case, but that also means it's
But
not as heavy.
you would still count this as a mid tower. Mid.
Yeah.
This isn't a full.
No, it's
and
not
it's
a full
not a
tower.
many. That's
It would be a mid tower. You've got it correct. I think what I want to do
you are correct. All right.
is leave this flat here. See if I can get at it this way. Sometimes I have to take the heatsink off to do this.
Take a chance. Remember when you had those big
I
forceps?
still have them,
Yeah, you know.
but this one's a little more complicated because we got to pull two halves together. If it was just one solid piece, so you make life easy. think I did it,
Would if he had tapery fingers. All right.
right? And then I can just slide that through.
Isn't that amazing?
Wait, why was there a screw inside of there? Um,
The eternal question. All right.
yeah, let me see the big, this is the
24 pin.
big 24 pin connector. The split side goes to the power supply. So we'll go ahead and plug this on to the motherboard. So this will run out right through there. Keep pulling that. Perfect. Now, to plug into the back of the power, and this is what I don't like about modular power supplies, is when you look at this case, we've got a hard drive cage right here, which makes it very tight to get our hand in the space between
Right.
to plug our cables in. Now, on the plus side, there's just a couple of thumb screws here that come out. Here and one here. May also be secured underneath. Let's see. Time for my glasses.
Mhm.
So I see screws here, 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 and here.
Mhm.
No, they really made this a hole to do. What was the point of giving us those thumb screws if it's not that easy to take out? Oh, maybe this is release. Okay. So
The cage comes in.
right down here, there's a tab you push down
Mm.
so that the sled that the cage slides into is what's screwed down. The cage itself
So slides out.
will slide out.
There you go.
That's well thought out. And then you can have two 3.5-inch drives.
What are those? Just kidding.
What are 3.5-inch drives?
Yeah.
Fair question
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
point.
Yeah. Drives that we use on our NASs. Not nozzles, NAS.
Okay, now how am I going to get in here? I definitely will need a flashlight.
Nice.
I don't think there's going to be one in there. I'd
You
have
used
one.
to have the pen one.
Remember this one?
Oh, yes.
Battery's
Magnetic.
still good? Oh,
Ooh.
I want to say yes. All
I
right,
can
so,
hold it. I can hold it right here.
so CPU 1 is where this cable goes, right? There. And then motherboard power. Flip space down, go to the far side first.
Can I ask you something? Why don't you attach those prior to mounting the power supply? I'm just curious.
I wanted to plug this cable in without it being tethered to the power supply, so I had more slack.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I definitely would have had to have taken that heatsink off to get to it.
Ah, gotcha. Yep.
Now, as for the larger one, I could have absolutely put the larger one on first. But I did think about it. I just didn't say anything. The idea is that you're supposed to be able to add and remove cables in the future when your system's already built. So it's just not a problem you would have with a regular power supply. It's unique problems that people with modular power supplies have. Some people will see it as an advantage. Some people, like me, see it as a disadvantage.
Did you hear the click? I didn't hear the click.
No, I didn't hear it click, but I saw it fit in there.
Okay, you gave it a slight little tuggy.
Just double check it though.
Just asking.
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we've got our front port umbilicals here.
Mm.
So let's see, we've got our USB 3 cable. And we're going to run that USB 3 cable, I think, here. Yeah, go ahead and grab that for me.
More slack. Mm-hmm.
Grab it. Grab it all. Okay, perfect. And then that is going to plug in right here to our large power connector. And that hooks up those two USB 3s up here. Then I can put that slack back out there for cable management later. That's good. Don't pull it too tight because it's on a weird leverage there. And then we've got this cable here, which is our, although it doesn't tell us, I can tell by looking at it, this is our front port audio. And that's usually somewhere back around here. Sometimes you can, like some case manufacturers will give you some cable management consideration to get back here. On this case, the closest we're going to get is this management hole here.
Okay.
So we'll take that cable and we'll pass it through here. And it usually goes somewhere on this left side, and the missing pin is on the top row. So we'll make sure that the blocked pin is on the top row. Now there's no clip or anything here. We just line it up, and with a friction fit, we kind of wiggle and push until it bottoms out against the board. That installs.
And then we have our separate power LED doodads here.
So those, let's see, we'll bring those in. Pay attention to where your cables are routed, because you see the way this is lapped over. This is going to make it very difficult to cable manage it like this. So what I would do is I would run this. Do I have wire cutters in that drawer?
Yeah.
I need to get rid of this zip tie. Yep. Even from the factory, it wasn't zip tied correctly. I want to just kind of put this away from the other cables just to keep cable management cleaner. See the way they kind of wrapped it around. That's twisted. Why would they do that?
Just because.
Yeah, so now I have to undo what the factory did, which is to take this USB 3 cable. See, they woven it in between the front port panel cables. It's done again. Cow. Oh, okay. No, it's just looped around there. Okay. Now, where was I before? Was I down here, I think. Plug that back in. And now that this is all straight and not tangled and interwoven, I can run it all the way down here, up through the bottom. Where we have a cable management port. Right down there. Then I need a flashlight to be able to see.
I'll hold it.
See power. We don't have a hard drive. Okay, so we'll start with the hard drive LED, positive cable to the edge, and we go on the bottom row of pins. First two pins on the bottom row. And then the power LED will go above that, positive above, positive hard drive LED, and the negative above the negative hard drive LED. So power LED and hard drive LED go.
What do you call that little adapter where they're all together and then you just slide it
That's
on?
not what I call it. It's what the manufacturer. So when ASUS offered it, that was called a Q connector, and when Gigabyte offered it, it was called a G connector. And if you buy an NZXT case, it's already done for you.
Oh. It just makes it nice, you know. They just slide those on, boom.
So positive above positive, negative above negative. So your power LED and your hard drive LED go on the first and second rows of pins, one above the other. Your power switch and reset switch also go one above the other. The reset switch goes on the next 2 pins, right beside the hard drive LED on the bottom row. You can ignore positive and negative on switches. And then the power switch goes directly above the reset switch on the top row of pins, on the next 2 pins beside the hard drive LED. It's really super easy. And then we have a rear case fan to hook up, which for some reason they've given us 2 ways to connect it with a Molex, which is going to be always on. We don't even use those kind of connectors anymore. Or we can find a fan header somewhere on this motherboard to plug it in where the BIOS can control the fan speed. So, I'm back with my flashlight. What do we have? I think what I can do is run this out to you. I'm going to push this out through that hole.
This one?
Yeah. Tight fit. My hand might be stuck. Gonna get my hand with the build for free. Okay. And then what I'm thinking is I bring it down here, and there should be a fan header. Yeah, there's a couple of them right down here.
Have you got enough slack?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
And I'll just plug it in right down on the bottom here. There. And so all that remains, obviously, this is what our system is going to look like. There's no glass panel or plastic see-through panel on this, so it's going to be a nice professional looking computer. We can put our hard drive cage back in. Slide this. And then put the 2 thumb screws back in. Now we should be able to test fire. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's our USB 2. I forgot, we didn't hook those up. Bring that in. Here,
I got it.
thumb screw in. I definitely have better lighting at Studio B. It's so dark in here. And let's come back around this way. You know what? Let me feed that back out.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold
Yep.
on. Um.
Yeah.
Let's bring it across this way. I want to get around some of those other cables. Again, that'll make cable management easier. Either of these 2 USB headers right down here on the bottom. Wiggle it and push it, it slides on. Go ahead and pull that slack through. And pull this slack through too. Perfect. I think we're ready to test fire this bad boy. It's all done. Because we've already done all of the configuration operating system drivers, it literally should be a plug and play scenario right now. So behind you, there's a keyboard and a mouse. And see, I brought the white one so I can tell them apart. Will you plug this? You know what? We'll test it up here. We'll test to
You-
make sure this.
You're gonna need a power supply, and then if you got another HDMI cable.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna borrow the HDMI
Oh,
cable
gotcha,
from
yeah.
the close-up camera.
Gotcha.
We'll steal its HDMI.
Yep.
Good thinking. And we will plug that in using onboard video here. Right here.
Who likes the smoke test? I
And
love the smoke test.
oh, I need a power cable, don't I?
Yeah.
Didn't I have a spare power cable? I know I put one in the box, but I don't want to uncoil that one.
Yeah.
It's all neatly factory coiled. Ah. Power here. Make sure the switch is in the off position. And I don't have any network plugged into it, but that's okay. It should be all updated anyway. All right, we flip the switch to on. Now here's the thing. I'm not quite sure which one of these is going to be the HDMI input. So, let's see. Oh, what? I guess we're not using HDMI input. We're going to use close-up camera. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take camera 1 and put us in a corner.
Are we ready?
You want to hit the power button?
3, 2, 1, click.
Is there a power LED lit up there? I don't see it.
No.
Okay, that probably means I have the cables
Oh,
on.
yes, yeah.
Oh, is there? It's
Very-
just very dim.
Very dim.
Oh, I see it now. What about the hard drive LED? Is that
There you
blinking?
go.
Yeah, hard drive LED is blinking, so all of that's working correctly. And it's perfectly silent. Can you even tell it's on? CPU fan is spinning. And our rear case fan is spinning. And there we are, we're booted into Windows. We can verify our configuration here. Let me go full screen on camera 2 for pitch and so not camera 2. Close-up camera is what we called it. Now, check this out, folks. Click Properties. 16 gigs of RAM, 15.7 gig usable. It's Core i7 9700K. Windows 10 Pro, 22H2 with all the latest updates. Now, we're not plugged into the internet, so I'm not quite sure. It should say that it's activated, but it might need to go online. Let's see what happens. See if Windows is. Windows is activated with a digital license. And then right click and go to Device Manager. And we can see that this has all the drivers, nothing's missing. There's our network adapter, which is an Intel i219V, 1 gigabit internet, or 1 gigabit LAN, I should say. And I have the TPM module disabled in the BIOS so that it doesn't shove Windows 11 down my throat, but this is Windows 11 compatible. You just need to turn TPM on, and you know, it's something I can take care of for you. But essentially to do that, let's go into the BIOS and I'll show you where that is. We'll restart. On Gigabyte, they'll call it platform trust technology. So we hit delete a couple of times here. That should get us into the BIOS. This should be the latest version of BIOS P4.30
Okay.
on the Z370 Pro 4 from AsRock. And I think there's a beta BIOS, but you shouldn't be using a beta BIOS unless you're trying to resolve a problem. We've got 2 DDR4 modules at 3000. And if we go to advanced, it's under trusted computing. No, that's not the one I wanted. Is it under CPU? I'll find it. Oh, you know what? Gigabyte boards call it PTT.
Mm.
The AsRock, this is an AsRock board.
Okay.
This has the ability, I guess, to upgrade to Thunderbolt with some add-on. It says the security device is enabled. And if that's the case, that means that that the TPM module is in fact turned on. Security. So you need Secure Boot enabled for Windows 11. Standard. Now it should be Windows 11 compatible. Still kind of curious about that. Trusted. Save it.
Yeah, it's dead quiet.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know it's on.
Yeah, with the panels off.
And there's room here for a 2.5-inch drive back behind the motherboard tray. And it looks like you can add another one here off to the side of the motherboard. So now the curiosity is, let's see, quick, this manager. Don't see the security option listed here. So I'd have to get a cable and plug it into the network. But I guarantee you this is Windows 11 compatible. I go out of my way to disable that. I don't want it just shoving it down my throat.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are they saying in the chat room here? This is the mouse I want. Check under CPU config. Okay, let's go take a look, another look in there. Let's go back to full screen. Should I? Shut down. Start. You also get an idea how fast this thing boots too.
Mm. Hitting the wrong keyboard.
Oh, that could be a problem, huh?
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad I brought two different color keyboards so
Yeah.
I wouldn't mix them up. Still doing it.
Take two. All right.
Start, shut down. Oops. Start. Then Laird said, you might as well put Windows 11 on it since you're going to need it in a little over 2 years. Yeah, because that's no time at all.
Yeah.
2 years. Give me a
tell-
break.
I'll tell you, Ben, yeah. I won't wait till the month of October 2025, kind of like Carrie has said in previous videos. In January, February of 2025,
Yeah.
it'll be kind of time to start reluctantly jumping over, but by then they'll have lucky Windows 13.
Windows 12 might be
Yeah,
out
or might-
next
might-
year.
yeah,
So
might
you
be
might
out.
just skip over 11
11, so
But I'll let the owner of the computer
Yeah.
decide what they want.
I'm just so used to 10. What can I say?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of 11.
I don't mind change. Not when it comes to computer.
I don't mind change if it comes with some productivity.
Activity, yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
what am I able to do differently?
Yeah. Oh,
Still missing it for some reason.
so small.
Yeah, it's hard for Mitch and I to see the screen here. It's a little bit of a challenge.
Full screen, yeah. There you go. I'll restart.
I'll do it this way.
Yeah.
We'll do recovery, restart now.
And then that automatically puts you in the BIOS, or
No, it's going to bring up
the
kind of
two,
restart.
yeah, the two things.
So you hit troubleshoot,
That's,
advanced, and UEFI firmware. Now restart. Now when it restarts, it'll take us into the BIOS.
BIOS, yeah. And what did they say in chat? Check the CPU config?
Yeah. So advanced under CPU configuration, we have active processor cores, C3 states, virtualization, hardware prefetcher, software guard extension. So it's not here. Typically, we'd find it under security settings. Any of this. Storage, NVMe, Thunderbolt, IO. Not under. Yeah, it would be here.
Hmm.
OS will not show security device. TCG EFI protocol and INTIA interface will not be available. What if I disable that? Enables support security. Should be enabled.
Anything under tool? What's tool?
Tools are usually things like you want to flash the BIOS,
Yeah.
boot manager here, RAID. I guess this thing has a
Yeah. Network
RAID
configuration.
ability somehow. Sometimes it's under security. Oh, here it is. Intel Platform Trust Technology.
Oh.
So we turn that to enabled,
Mm-hmm.
and now we go to save and exit. And now we should have that security processes or processors or something like that in the device manager.
Yep.
And that's what Windows 11 needs to have for compliance. So we'll go ahead and wait for that to reboot. You want something to drink?
Any water?
Water.
No water. Ooh.
Have an arrowhead. This not reboot? What are we doing? Reset. What does that say?
I don't know. You better
Gosh darn it.
expando.
Click screen. System failed to boot several. Whoop. Nope. Just as I made the screen bigger.
Never mind.
I don't know what I was doing. Okay.
I was thinking.
Didn't like that last BIOS change for some reason. See if it's stuck. Device manage. Security devices. There's our TPM. Good to go.
Okay.
And so just to make sure everything's working okay, we'll go ahead and do a normal power off here. Shut her down. Go through that shutdown process. Now that it's off, and stops. Let's see how long it takes to boot. I will say that I think that was one of the complaints I had with the AsRock is it seemed like it was on that for the BIOS screen to come up.
Yeah.
Because once it starts to load Windows, it's there quick.
Yep.
you know me, I would leave a computer on, so it's not like I have to deal with that very often. Okay, so with that being done, let's go back to full screen on camera 1. Now, does anybody have any questions? Let me take a look here in the chat room. Let me see that black mouse, please. I think I'm done with this flashlight. Rubber band can go over here. And I need a little Ziploc bag. For all these extra screws.
While he's doing that, chat, I'll show you your Uncle Mitch got a brand new actor's headshot. Ooh.
Oh yeah, look at
I
that.
don't know whether it'll focus. Huh?
You got to bring it closer to the lens.
Is that just like
Get
down?
closer, 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 closer. There you go.
Is that just like downtown? Beautiful. Isn't that nice? Had that done last Saturday. Very nice.
Oh, it just occurs to me they gave us a Ziploc bag. Well, I don't like theirs. I'll use mine instead. Zip ties. Instruction booklet for the case.
Of course, I've been hitting the beer quite a bit recently to prepare myself for my trip, so I may have put on a few pounds. Plus, I've been hitting the gym pretty good, so
Oh yeah?
the beach house
Did the gym hit you back?
is that way. Yeah.
All right, let me get rid of this stuff here. Okay, so let's see if anybody has any questions.
Frank wants to know what's for dinner, fellas.
That is a good question. It's on the other side of town here.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Gary once took me to an Italian place. I think it was in downtown
Oh,
someplace that was beautiful. I had raviolis there. I think they were the best raviolis I'd ever had in my life. Little place that couldn't have held more than 20 people in that place, but man, that was good Italian. Oh, Mitch, you look for real. I hope so. I had acting class last night, and I did a very nice monologue, and my teacher had some good pointers, some good advice, and whole class as well. We're going to miss you, Mitch, while you're gone. I'm like, yeah. You wish you were me. Taking a trip 7,000 miles away. All right. I know some people, Chad, don't like to travel, and I'm not a giant fan, but as an actor, I have to do things that take me out of my comfort zone. And believe me, traveling alone to a foreign country where English is spoken in Ho Chi Minh, and when I go to Hanoi, those are two big cities. But when I start going to littler towns, Da Nang, Hoi An, I'm glad I got a voice translator as well as Google Translate on my phone, because everyone's going to speak the English. But I did learn how to say hello in Vietnamese. That's Xin Chào. And thank you is, it sounds like come on, so it's just come on. When I step up to immigration, of course, hand the guy my passport, and he looks at it and looks at me and says, yeah, you don't look this old. Sorry, sir, that's me.
all right. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Doesn't look like I missed much. We had one person just spamming the heck out of the chat. That's really annoying. Let's see. Mike's Unboxing wants to know if we can see him. Yes, we can.
I mean, look at chat. Look at these beautiful lines. Very, very well,
We'll see you.
Corinthian left.
Are HDMI cables all the same quality? No, of course not. There's no such thing of anything of a genre being all the same quality, and it's generally related to price, but also what standard of HDMI it's complying with, the length of the cable, the thickness of the cable, and that's why we have reviews that you can read at places like Amazon or Best Buy or Newegg or B&H Photo, wherever cables are sold, that you can read what other people have to say.
Because I even wondered that, Kerry, about Ethernet cables, you know, because you and I are paying for Gigablast, and, you know, you want to get the most out of what you're paying for, and you've got, you know, Cat 5, you don't need Cat 7 because, yeah, that, but I'm like, are the ends different? Is the copper and the wire better? I get shielding or whatever, but I'm like, you know, I'm willing to pay not obscene prices, but if it's an extra bump where I know, you know, it's good connectors on the ends and the wires in them are going to give me the speed that I'm paying for, I don't mind, you know, $20.
Most people don't have an internet connection speed issue as a result of bad cables. It's usually something much more serious than that. Even Gigablast, it's not that much compared to what normal home office networking would use. But, you know, I'm sure there's been a handful of people out there that have been affected, but it's not very common. Pretty much any store-bought cable is going to do you just fine as far as internet access goes. But when we start talking about 2.5 gig, 5 gig, or 10 gig, then of course the faster the cable, the more data we're going to push through it, the more sensitive it's going to be to noise and interference. So that's where it's priced accordingly. If you want to shop for the cheapest stuff, expect to own the cheapest stuff. If you want quality stuff, then pay more and get the name brand stuff, and you don't have to have those anxieties.
And you showed me about those flat Ethernet. I kind of like them. A lot of people, you know, prefer the rounds, but I'm like, the flats just sit so nice.
Well, it depends how you're running your cables, right? So if you need to run it across the floor, underneath a carpet or something like that.
Yeah, the flats are...
Yeah, they're fine. Some routers, are when they include an Ethernet cable, some routers are including the flat cables. I like the thin ones myself.
Right, yeah.
But, you know.
To each his own.
Yeah. Gary, can you do a video on wireless security cameras? Would you even suggest wireless security cameras? I've already talked about wireless security cameras. Nothing wrong with wireless security cameras. You can get them now battery operated. EUFY makes these solar powered wireless security cameras. So you just literally mount them. You hook them up to your Wi-Fi, and they stay continually charged through the daylight. Charges the batteries. They have night vision, alarms. They're great. They're expensive, but they're good.
But outdoor versus indoor, you know, outdoors have to be rugged to, you know, the elements.
Yeah, well, these are outdoor cameras.
You know, cold Michigan winters, or, you know, today in Phoenix it's 114 versus your standard indoor where typically the temperature is going to be about 72.
So we don't do wireless camera reviews here, but I will tell you that if you go to Amazon, let's see if I can put this up here, and we look under EUFY camera. And let's go to the screen capture. So here I'm at Amazon.
Okay.
Eufy makes these solar powered, well, this one comes with 4 cameras, and then this part here, but a drive-in to record locally, so you're not paying any subscription fees.
For cloud storage.
They also make a Ring-like doorbell camera, just so you can all tie it into the same software setup on your phone. But they had a 2-pack here as well.
And the solar would be nice unless you have a big tree that shades, you know, part of the afternoon. It shades.
It's still, as long as it's getting a couple hours every day, it should be fine.
Power up.
And you can get them without solar. They'll be a little cheaper. You can get them with rechargeable batteries that you have to take the cameras down and plug them into a USB port for about 4.5 to 5 hours to charge them back up every few months.
Ugh.
Um,
Get up on a ladder.
I'm seeing the 4-pack, but what happened to the 2-pack? They essentially sell this as a 2-pack. So, there, 2-camera kit. Right there. And this is 4K cameras. Some cameras will be 2K, maybe even less. They've got lights on them that you can activate.
Okay.
Jerry Rig Everything did a review on these cameras. So if you want to see a review, check out Jerry Rig Everything's review on these cameras. They're very, very thorough. And this has face recognition, expandable local storage to 16 terabytes, no monthly fees. So you're paying more out of the box, but then the longer you have it and own it, the cheaper it gets. So that's what I would recommend.
Can you set those up to where it's motion detected, where they're not?
They're automatically motion detected.
So
they don't work any other way.
So they're not running when it doesn't sense motion, and then they will kick on when.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When a car pulls up,
or if you activate the app on your phone, then the camera kicks on and you can see what's going on.
Right.
Otherwise, you'd eat up your battery in like 90 minutes. Let's see. Camera. Anyway, so that's a big brand. It's trustworthy. Stay away from brands you don't know. But do let the Amazon reviews help guide you in your decision. And always be sure, if you decide to buy one of these, to leave your review, regardless if you like it or you don't like it. Add your thoughts to help somebody else like you wondering if they should buy it. We can all help each other that way. Alan Lindos contributes $7.77. He says, hello, Carrie, Mitch, and chat. My late fee again. Planet Cryos with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Planet Cryos. Planet Cryos said that the Western Digital drives he mentioned earlier was on Amazon as a sale. It's over. The sale is over, though. I tried to get the 2 terabyte, but it was not letting me. I got 2 of the 1 terabyte. Well, it's not uncommon now for 1 and 2 terabyte solid state drives to just get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, especially as we approach the holiday season. Let's see. Walk back over to the screens. It's so nice to have that tablet right there. You know, I got to walk up here to read the darn screen. Patrick Rusaw's got a link to an Amazon camera he uses that he likes. Thank you. Michael Dane said, here's the joke of the day. What's it called when it takes you a while to find the RAM for your computer? Short-term memory loss. You have a dad joke?
I didn't prepare one today.
It's Diarrhea Awareness Week.
Did not know that.
Yeah, runs through the weekend.
Okay. Dang, that's a good one.
Michael Dane says, what kind of dogs do programmers have? Computer labs.
Hey.
Frank Jimmy said, the computer was only used once a week by a little old lady from Pasadena.
Who only drove it to church there and back on Sunday.
All right, guys, we are just now getting on a 2 hours on our live feed here. And I like to keep these around 2 hours, but you know, I always stick around as long as you guys have questions. We'll do our best to either provide answers or provide a direction where you could find your answer. And I guess I'll check my phone while we're waiting, but this will be it. If there's no participation from the chat room, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. See.
We'll go out and get the early bird special because we're all.
All Ron Barnish sent a $10 Amazon
Hey,
gift
Ron.
card. He said, cookies for Jimmy. Thank you, Ron. We did give Jimmy a cookie, didn't
Yeah.
we?
And his medicine, snossage.
Sausage. I remember those.
Yeah, and the snossages. Dogs used to love them.
I got a coupon for Pizza Hut. I am so sorry I signed up for Pizza Hut's loyalty thing. They send coupons every single day. It's ridiculous. And I don't see any other inquiries so far coming in on this computer or the others I have available. So as I mentioned, I'm, as a courtesy to my viewers, to my community, I'm making these available first to you guys. And then if there's either no response or nobody can't get to a negotiable price, then I'm just going to sell it locally. And one way or another, I've got to start moving the equipment. There's almost no room for me to walk into Studio B at this point. And I still have other projects I want to do. And those projects, they have to be stored somewhere until filming day. And I've got a build coming up Friday.
I was just about to say, let chat know you got a very unique build. Carrie has been kind enough to invite me. I may be working as a TA on a television commercial. Luckily, it's not outdoors; it's indoors. So
Well, that'll be your last opportunity before you leave.
before I leave. Yeah.
And you'll be gone
Yeah.
for what, a month and a half, something?
If my money holds out, I'm
He'll be
thinking.
back in a week.
Yeah. That's why I always buy one-way tickets. So if I'm not enjoying myself in Vietnam, which I know I will, I can always jump over to Thailand because I'm very familiar with Bangkok. Been a week there, 2 weeks there. North is, so south is Phuket. So I love, Thailand, but I think I'm going to enjoy Vietnam. I'm going to take that four-day motorcycle trip on the Hang John Loop or something like that. I'm still on the fence whether I ride on the back of somebody, who drives the bike for me, because that way I can kind of look around.
Mm-hmm.
Or whether I drive it, but it's a lot of, switchbacks. And, these are not motorcycles. They're not Vespas, but they're motor scooters.
Mopeds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just afraid if I ride it, I'm not afraid of crashing, of course, because I ride a motorcycle, but I'm just afraid that I'm going to be so focused on these switchbacks that I'm not going to.
You won't be able to enjoy
I'm
this,
not going to
right?
enjoy myself. Whereas if I just ride on the back, I can look around, and so I'll have to talk to the guys and see. I would rather drive it myself because there's some pride there of saying you drove the Hajjan.
Yeah. Well, maybe
loop
you could
yourself
drive it
and-
yourself once and go as a passenger once.
That's true too. I'm like,
Be out there long
Yeah.
enough.
yeah. So
Jim KJN says the Beijing S500 Pro 512 gig SSD NVMe's are $24 on Amazon. Yeah. Should the power supply fan be running constantly? Well, some power supplies, the answer is yes, and some power supplies, the answer is no. This power supply has a switch on the back that you can enable eco mode, where the fan will only activate when it's needed. To me, that makes the most sense. But not all power supplies offer that, and so those power supplies have the fan run constantly. That's kind of the default standard. But what it should do is however the manufacturer has designed it.
would Carrie, the greatest Carrie advice, or some of the greatest chat that Carrie gave me is not that I have, 2-inch shag carpeting in my place, but it was what's known as a high pile, and you don't get a lot of coverage here. So Carrie said, get a piece of wood, just a little bit bigger, and you can go to Home Depot and they'll cut it for you. And so then I put the piece of wood down, and then I put my desktop on it. And that way I didn't have
Did
to.
you get two pieces of wood, one for the front and one for the back?
No, just one, one piece of wood that then went on the carpet, and then the desktop sits right on it.
So your desktop sits like this on it?
No, I mean, it's just a piece of flat wood. I mean, so.
So it's a wider
Yeah,
piece of wood. I got you.
Yeah, just a wider, yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Okay.
And it sits there because I had what is considered high pile versus, you've got some carpet that's low nap, which would be fine, but I'm like, now I don't have to worry about it because a piece of wood there, and then I just still twice a year for me, I do January and June is when I just am on the cycle about turning it off and pulling it out and cleaning it out and dusting everything, put it back. So that's my January, June. So I clean mine out twice a year. And as Carrie said, Phoenix is very, very dusty, even though all the windows are closed for 5
Well, and
months,
especially if you have pets.
5 months out of the year.
Tell
So
you what, you'll get pet hair as well as all the dust the pets track in.
yeah, but my tribbles, they don't shed. So they make a lot of noise, but they don't shed. And they multiply. Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me about your Tamaguchi.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. It seems like a pretty quiet day today here in the chat room.
Yeah.
How's Jimmy doing without his buddy? How does he look like he's doing?
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
not a happy camper. He's all right.
but he's getting old. We all are.
Ron Barner says, "Did you know diarrhea is genetic?
Hmm.
It runs in your genes."
Ah. Well, I will tell you, Chad, what did I do yesterday? I did get what's known as travel medical insurance, and I got a good policy from a very well-known company. It's at least a $2 million policy. If something goes wrong and I have to be evac'd out, that's covered. And so peace of mind, you have to have it if something happens, because they won't take American insurance.
Let me go back over to this screen
Okay.
for a second, and we'll shut this down.
Shut her down. Okay.
Yeah, it shuts down quick. This kept me very happy for a couple of years, so even the most finicky of users should be very happy with the performance of a 9700K, specifically this configuration. The other thing I'll do is HDMI cable.
Justin, Mitch, how do you like Steve Lukather's new album? Chad, of course, Steve Lukather is the lead guitarist of Toto. He's been an original member since its inception back in 1978. And this album is called Bridges. And I like it because he got a lot of the guys from Toto, lead singer Joseph Williams, keyboardist David Page, who play on it. So it's about as close as we're ever going to get to a new Toto album. And so I liked it. Some hard rock, things like that. And so I did enjoy it. Played it a few times, and
You guard in the hallway?
it's a must.
You a good boy? Are you a good boy?
Don't bother me. Look at that gray.
Yeah, he's getting old.
No, it's cooler down there.
Oh, I can imagine how miserable he's going to be with this heat. Are you hot?
Andy came. Mitch, was it pricey to get travel insurance? Well, Andy, since I don't know how long I'm staying, I did a 30-day policy. So from September 5th through October 4th, I'll probably have to extend that. But for the 30 days, $2 million insurance policy,
Ooh.
$300, which might sound pricey. I'm not risking.
Better not make me the beneficiary because I might arrange an accident.
That's a zero deductible. Had I done $100, $250, or $500, it did decrease quite a bit. I don't care. I just zero deductible, 30 days, $300 with a well-known company, peace of mind. Boom, printed out my card that I'll carry with me if something happens. And you can't put a price on peace of mind
That's for sure.
because I'm old.
It says it's 114 outside right now. 114 in late August.
Yeah.
Definitely want to avoid Phoenix in August.
Yeah.
This one is particularly bad.
Solof's is going to bail, so good night
He
to
says,
you,
good night
Matt.
from Sweden. All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Matt Zoloff. Good to see you, my friend.
Got to get over there. So.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. I think everything's real quiet in the chat room today.
Nice build, and
Like I say, there's 12 more of these to go.
Yeah.
Of different motherboards, different CPUs, and different pricing.
Yeah.
And it'll be a first come, first serve, and then
And
no reasonable
of
offers.
course, Uncle Mitch is biased, but I got to tell you, for the price he wants, is to me that this is just a bargain. I mean, yeah, you're not going to find anything.
Oh, I'm not worried about selling it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not. I have no concern as far as being able to find a buyer. My only concern is how long I want to wait
Right. And
before offering it locally.
right.
So I'll probably give it a week. We'll see. There was one person that said they wanted it, so I will email them back. That person was, I believe, Tony, who likes it as is, which is all good to me, and would have to be shipped off to Georgia. But yeah, we'll have a talk with Tony, and if that doesn't work out, don't be discouraged.
There's
It's in other words, if you're
plenty
interested in it, don't think Tony's already got it. All right, because a lot of people say something and they don't follow through, or I'll have the money in 6 months.
right.
I'm not holding it for 6 months.
There are plenty more.
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, if you're interested in it, do reach out, and then if the first person who asks, if there falls through, I'll go to the second person who asked, and then when this one's gone, we'll go on to the next one, and one by one, we'll get them done. We'll get them finished and get them shipped so that they can, make somebody happy rather than sitting around collecting dust. This would make a great gaming PC. All you have to do is buy your own video card.
Slap it in.
Yeah. You bought a more powerful power supply, but, you've got plenty of expandability in this to customize it to just about any need. And I like that the case is smaller than a $200. It's much more portable. It's lighter. A little more difficult to work in because it's smaller. Things are a little tighter, but still plenty of room to add.
Yep.
2 3.5-inch drives. It looks like there's a 2.5-inch drive cage here. It looks like maybe another RE back here for a 2.5-inch drive, maybe. I'm sure that's in the motherboard manual if I could be bothered to look. So I just want to make sure people get an opportunity to take advantage of these deals. I don't do them very often, and I have been putting this off for too long. So time to get back to work. Michael Dane wants to know when I'm going on vacation. Vacation is postponed for Carrie until probably, I'm going to guess, after the new year, but I'm not sure yet. Something might come up. I might do a quick little weekend getaway to Vegas or something, but I don't even want to go to Vegas until, yeah, it's got to cool down. Imagine, guys, that it's only in the 70s here in Nebraska, northeastern Ohio. But he was saying Nebraska.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody says it's buffering. It's not buffering for us. We have, the great thing about Studio A,
We're hardwired.
we have a rock solid internet connection here.
Yep.
So any buffering is happening on your end, either with your machine, your internet connection, or your connection with YouTube. We have 0 dropped frames. 0. It's been a 100% perfect live stream.
The picture has not been frozen.
Sherry says, enjoy your pizza. Are we having pizza?
I don't know. I mean,
I guess you were talking about that Italian place. I haven't been there in a while. Where else is? Well, they opened up a bunch of new places over at Westgate.
Wasn't there a spaghetti factory around here? Not really. It's out way out there. That you like too, the spaghetti factory. I don't know. I forget. I went there once with you, and it seemed pretty far out. Not 60s,
Spaghetti factory's downtown.
Not 60s far out, but
It's downtown.
Oh,
And they have another location that's on the complete opposite side of town,
yeah.
out at Chandler Mall.
Yeah, it's just too
Those are the
hot,
only
yeah,
two.
too hot to, drive in a car, even if you got air conditioning.
I went to go to Long John Silver's last night, and they had one of those Taco Bell / Long John Silver's restaurants. Been there for years. So since I was over on this side of town, I decided to stop over there. I walk inside, it's just a Taco Bell menu. I go, what happened to the Long John Silver's? They're all shut down. He goes, there's only two left. There's one on 19th Avenue in Bell, and there's one out in, I think he said out in Chandler. That's it. Those are the last two. So much for getting junk seafood.
Yeah, fish and chips. So
Well, it's not just any fish and chips. It's some of the worst you can have.
scrod.
Hey, nothing wrong with scrod.
Yeah.
I'm okay with scrod.
Well, Chad, before we say goodbye, if you don't see me Friday, again, I'm not sure whether I'm helping on this TV commercial or not. I certainly will see you when I get back.
Well, hopefully you'll send us some video updates.
Absolutely, yeah. From Saigon, from Hanoi.
When Mitch sends his little video updates, he can just selfie a little video update
and
and kick it over to me, and I can share it with you guys when we're live.
on Fridays, and so of me just massively sweating.
Patrick Manny says, have a good, safe trip, Mitch.
Fingers crossed. I think I'll enjoy myself.
Carlos Hernandez said, have a great time and be careful.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. A little nostalgia trip here at Studio A, and revisit with Jimmy, who hasn't moved the whole time since the last time we filmed here. And yeah, I guess I have just a little cable management to go on this, and then I will button it up and take it out with me. Then I have to tear down everything we set up here and move it all back in the back room. I was here yesterday getting everything set up, and I was setting everything up for about 6 hours to do this. The tear down should only take about an hour. But
And we'll eat.
it could spend some time with Jimmy anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll go grab a bite to eat. And so thank you for joining us, and thank you for the contributions. And that includes a shout out once again to Alan Lindas, Planet Cryos, Michael Dane, Dr. Bill, Mark Gaines, Paul O'Brien, Mike Visions, Ian Gooch. Thank you to Thomas MacT for renewing his membership for the 12th month. Thanks for the super chats from Thomas Tidwell and our good friend and birthday boy, Peter Laycock, or as we call him, Buster. Happy birthday to Buster.
Yep.
That'll wrap it up for us for today. And I should be live from Studio B maybe tomorrow, if not Thursday. And then Friday, we have the new computer build.
Yep.
And that's going to finish off the rest of the week.
Yep.
Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all very, very soon. And until next time,
For now.